This is the journey to One Africa. Hey everybody, welcome back to SNOA, and this is Mika. If you're new to this farm, please subscribe, turn on the notification button, follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, Mika Chavala, Swahili Nation. It's going to be amazing. But also, if you'd like to support us, you can always do through the links in the description. You can use Super Chat, Super Sticker, Super Thanks, PayPal, Patreon, and memberships here on YouTube. And also, you can actually purchase some of our products. They are available here on YouTube. You can click some of the links you see down there on our videos, and if you purchase one of them, it's one of the ways of supporting us. Or you can use just PayPal once in a while, or joining our membership monthly, supporting what we do. All right, guys, big update. This is the major update. I think it's one of the big news of the day. So hear this out. US backs Africa for 2 UNSC permanent seats. Oh, this, guys, is the big update. US back Africa for 2 UNSC permanent seats. This is the big news, guys. It is the big news. To be honest, I don't want to make a big deal out of this, but US doing this, the matter of fact, I think they know what is the right thing. I think all the noises and everything that Africa has been saying and wanting, that we want our seat, now it is the time. But guess what? I think Africa is going to have these seats only because US is backing Africa right now. Okay, let me read all of it and then I'll give my personal opinion. At the same time, guys, you think about what you want to say. The United States has announced its support for creating 2 permanent seats on the United Nations Security Council for African states. This move is a part of the broader discussions and calls to reform within the UNSC to better reflect contemporary global demographic and political realities. Here is the summary based on the latest information. Support for African representation. The US backing comes amidst long-standing demands from African nations for more significant representation in the UNSC, where currently Africa, despite its population and numerous peacekeeping contribution, does not hold a permanent seat. Wow. No. For this, no. I cannot make this. This is such a great news. So let me keep on reading, guys. Wait, does not hold a permanent seat. Okay, start from me. All right. Support for African representation. The US backing comes amidst long-standing demands from African nations for more significant representation in the UNSC, where currently Africa, despite its population and numerous peacekeeping contribution, does not hold a permanent seat. Details on the proposal. Alongside the 2 permanent seats for Africa, there's also support for 1 seat to be rotated among small island developing states. This proposal aims to address the underrepresentation of this region in a global governance structures. Implications. This support could potentially shift the dynamics of global decision-making, giving Africa a more formal and consistent voice in international peace and security matters. However, the implementation of these seats, including whether they would come with veto powers similar to the existing permanent members, remain a point of contention and negotiations. Reactions and context. The announcement has been met with various reactions, with some seeing it as a strategic move by the US to strengthen ties with Africa, especially in light of geopolitical tension and the need to counterbalance influences like China's in the region. Critics, however, might view this as a political gesture without immediate substantive change, especially if these new seats do not include veto powers. Future steps. While the UN support is significant, actual reforms requires consensus among UN member states, which historically has been challenging due to different national interests and the complexities of UNSC reform discussion. This development reflects ongoing effort to reform the UNSC, aligning it more closely with current global demographics and geopolitical realities, particularly recognizing Africa's role and population size in the whole world. Guys, as I say, this is such a very significant stage. But I'll tell you these guys right now, very right and very straight. I'll tell you these guys that anything that US does, they don't just do out of nowhere. Ask yourself this question: why are they doing right now? They're doing right now because they have listened to our complaint and our requests for all those years, and now they're ready to give us seats. No. Because if you are looking at the dynamics of Africa, you look at where Africa is looking at right now. They just finished Beijing conference between China and Africa, and President Xi, he promised to give $50 billion to Africa. Last year, he promised to give $40 billion. Right now, $50 billion. And when you look at Africa and how they strengthen their ties with Russia, Russia is all over the continent right now. Remember, just recently, Mali kicked away all the military bases, Niger, kicked away all the military bases of United States in Niger, and instead invited Russian troops to come to to Niger. So Africa is turning away from the Western countries, particularly specifically France and United States, and turning to China and Russia. This is the threat. This is not the balance of power. So United States stepping out today and support this cause for Africa that Africans, we have been crying and shouting for so long time, is not a gesture of them listening to us, but it's a gesture of United States being afraid of imbalance of power, that now China is holding more power in Africa more than them, because Africa is running away from them and inviting China and Russia to come to the continent. That is a threat. And it's imbalancing of power. That also is actually taking the main, basically the superpower nation, which is United States, basically you're taking it to China. China has been going up, for many years right now, and we cannot even, in so many ways, China has already surpasses all countries in the world. You know what I'm saying? So the United States, they're very cunning in a way, and very alerted that no, right now we need to back Africa, because if we back them, basically there will be a sympathy, basically there will be some sort of collaboration between us and them. And I know, guys, to be honest, you might say I'm naive to talk about all these things, because United States, they can do whatever the heck they want to do. They have been doing that in the whole damn world. They can get away with any crime that they want to commit. For instance, killing Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. Obama, he actually said that was the biggest mistake of his regime, killing him. But is there any accountability towards him? And he confessed it. No, he's still a walking, breathing man. But you know what? Libya's president was killed, and Libya is at the worst state that has never been before. And there's no accountability, a single accountability of NATO, a single accountability of Barack Obama, a single accountability of whatever that were involved in killing of Muammar Gaddafi. That is just one case in Africa, but there's so many cases across the world, and there's no accountability, zero accountability to that. Now, yes, Africa might have a seat on, in this stage, United Nations Security Council. But are we going to have a say? Are we going to have a veto powers? Yes, we have a seat. But are we going to be considered equal as the old members that have been there for many years? They've been making decisions for us. Africa has not been making decisions for herself, but there's somebody else have been making decision for Africa, and that is white men, superpowers, making decision for Africa, how Africa should be run, how Africa should deal with their development, how Africa should deal with their industrialization, how Africa should deal with their electricity, everything, disease, vaccine, and everything. They have been deciding for Africa, and they're not even Africa, they're not even living in Africa, but Africa has been led by them. Now, yes, let's say we're gonna have these two seats. What is it going to do to the continent? Are we going to have veto power? Are we going to be in the table of deciding what has to be done to Africa? Are we going to be in the table to vote that no, this cannot happen in Africa, not only Africa, but other countries as well? We're going to have that power. Is that just a gesture of giving us a seat and that's it? And are we going to use it to the effective? Because we've been crying about this for a long time. So I am really eager to see what African countries are going to do with these seats, because eventually my proposal was, why don't we create our own seats? Why don't we strengthen African Union? Why don't we have our own UNSC? It could be called like AUSC, African Union Security Council. Why don't we have our own? Why don't we strengthen on our own? Why don't we stop depending on them and focusing on strengthening ourselves, our countries, and what we have here in the continent? I think that is the proper way. I think that is the better way. So, to be honest with you guys, I'm taking this as a positive, and at the same time, I'm taking it with very precaution in my heart. That Africa should be very clear about this. We demanded this for so long time, and it should be perfect for us. Not something that needs to be worked on. This is something that it can be done right now. Be like, okay, now we're giving to Africa. Africa, go ahead, you have it. But we need to have veto power to do whatever the heck we want to do as well, because we are equal, and we have been contributing to this world economy for so long time without recognition, but by being violated and being misused and mismanaged of our resources. But now we have these seats. Well, we should be treated equal. That's why we demand. The people of Africa, one Africa, we demand the equal treatment. We demand the same balance of power. We demand the unity is strength. So as much as we are united and we are one people, it is possible to conquer everything. So guys, I would love to know your thoughts on this. Please let me know in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. All right. What do you think? Why US is backing Africa today? What is the agenda behind it, you think? Because US, one thing about US, man, they don't do nothing for no reason. No, they definitely have a reason. So let's figure out the reason together. What do you think is the reason for US to back Africa right now? Let me know in the comment section, and it'll be amazing. Guys, I love you. Don't forget to love one another and spread peace wherever you are. I love you. God bless.